Hello everyone, hope you're having a great Friday. If you're wondering why I have my lab coat on, just bear with me for a couple of minutes. I think you'll figure it out. On March 26th of this year, I wrote out a statement. And I wrote it out because I wanted to make sure I chose my words carefully and I didn't want to forget anything as I read the statement to you all. March 26th, took about a minute and a half. You can go back and listen to it. That's when I said that I was optimistic. My glass was always half full. And I talked about what was going on at the time in March. We were in the beginnings of the pandemic from COVID-19. Everything was up in the air. We didn't know what was going to be going on, but we felt that we could ride this out and things would get better. It's been 4 months. It's time to recap. Try to figure out what's going on, and hence the lab coat. We have to diagnose the situation. During the 4 months, we thought we were going to have IRD in July, then that changed to August, and now it's postponed to next year. During the 4 months, we were hoping that buildings would allow our chapters to get together without any restriction on how many people could meet. It was 10, or 12, or different things. Mask or no mask, it's been going back and forth. What time is it? Things were changing rapidly. Also, during those 4 months, we were all banking on that come September, hopefully October, that because we canceled the spring events, we would be able to have our recognition days where we could recognize our 2019 winners. Here we are beyond the halfway point of 2020, and these folks haven't been properly recognized. So we thought, okay, we'll be able to do this in the fall. What's the diagnosis now? Looking back at 4 months, where are we at right now? Well, I just mentioned IRD is postponed till next year. Kind of looks like most of the recognition days are being scheduled into next year. So what are we going to do about it? What do we have? What have we learned in the past 4 months? Well, it's no secret that you all know that for 40 years I was in the laboratory. My background is science. I tend to look at things black and white. I know that's just the way it is. Sometimes folks want me to get into that gray area. It's very difficult for me because in the laboratory, if you're making a diagnosis on a patient, you run tests, you run experiments, and the facts lead you to the conclusion. You can't change the conclusion. It's based on what is really happening. So I've gone back and I've looked what I've learned, and I said, going forward, if our chapters aren't meeting, we got to come up with some other way to support them. If we're not having recognition days because governors are saying no more than 50 people in a room, we got to do something else to recognize them. We have to continue on. I've learned during this past 4 months that I can reach folks in a different media. I mean, I've gone back and looked at a couple of my first Facebook chats with you folks, and it's like, whoa, beard length, puffy face. I can watch my weight go up and down on these past chats. So you look at things and say, okay, I've been experimenting with different things, and I'm going to make recommendations going forward, and I'm going to use all the tools available. You might have noticed that last week or so, I interviewed the 4 international royalty. Never would have thought this was possible before this happened. And I'm not going to lay all our problems on what's going on with COVID-19, because things happen in life. And we have, they call life experiences, and we have to learn from them going forward. And I'm just going to give you an example. If anybody was watching the news, what's going on in Portland, Oregon, right? It was just a year ago we were all in Portland, Oregon, recognizing our successful members. Look what's happening right now, 2.2 miles away from the DoubleTree Inn where we were staying in the convention center. What would we have done if that had happened last year, right? We would have had to learn from that and do something different. So this is what we're doing. The lab coat is reminding me that whatever's happening, we have to learn and move on. So I'm challenging everyone, I'm hoping everyone is looking at what can we do to support our members who cannot meet for the next few months. And I know some folks are doing Zoom, some teleconferencing, but remember, we come from all different walks of life. We do not want to leave anybody out. Going forward, I'll be having a couple of committees that we're going to be working to try solutions to help us get through the next few months. Going forward, I learned that with these Facebook chats and then recording things to show later on YouTube and stuff, that not only am I gonna, or not only did I plan on interviewing the international royalty, I'm going to contact the international division winners. I'm going to contact state and provincial king and queens, division winners. Let me know if there's somebody special. We're all special, let me rephrase that. Somebody who had a great success in your chapter. Let me know. We'll get them and we'll do them an interview, right? Maybe you can do an interview as a chapter leader or a coordinator or an advocate and show it on your local Facebook pages. We can do all this because we're learning from our experiences. Don't want to forget our 25 and 50-year cops. Don't want to forget the two folks who won the retreat this year. All those things would have been announced in at IRD. They'll be in the next issue of Topps News, and that's fine, but where's that personal touch that we're famous for? Where's that support that we want to show our members? And then also going forward, as I diagnose the situation, we've got to find ways to make sure everybody renews that are our Topps member. And how are we going to get members, new members in, the fact that there's no chapter meeting? We've got things in place. Contact your chapter leader, your advocate, and your coordinator so that we can help put the process forward with you folks. Nothing is too weird to come up with. We've got to go, the expression, you got to think outside of the box. Well, folks, I'm suggesting we got to go way out of the box. But remember, I said, sometimes the black and white and the conclusions that we have to make, some folks aren't going to be happy. We have to stay in the parameters of our rules, plain and simple. So that's why I mentioned what's going on in Portland. If not a riot or COVID, something else is going to happen. We've got to be flexible and adaptable. I've learned more in the past 4 months about myself, about how I can do things hopefully better, not only for myself, but for the organization too. I don't take this lightly. Yeah, I'm known as a kidder. You've heard me talk about how sometimes humor can deflect negative feelings and just bad stuff that happens to you. That's my defense mechanism. Frankly, it's better than drinking, smoking, and I've given up whoopie pies, so that's great. But, we all have things that trigger us. We all have great ideas. We've all had different life experiences. And that's what I want to come out of this. I want people to use this forum to share ideas, right? Don't worry, I'll be there. The SPAs, the service program administrators will be there, the coordinators. There's things in place to make sure we stay within the confines of reality and the rules. Not a problem. A final thought. just an experiment that happened over the past couple of weeks, or a month, I would say. The name of this Facebook page, right, is Tops Members, and it was the unofficial Tops page. And we have an official Tops Facebook page where we post a lot of things that as we try to attract folks to our organization. So we made it the unofficial page. Well, now, and people didn't like it, or some liked it. Probably some of you didn't even notice. But now the page is named Empowering Each Other. Isn't that a powerful message? We're empowered to help each other in any mechanism, medium, any mode that you can find to help people. Whether it's a card, the old-fashioned write out a thank you card or a thinking of you card, email, just a phone call. If you can meet with somebody in a local coffee shop just to chat, great. Or Facebook, YouTube, Zoom, everything is out there for us to use, and we have to use them. We have to keep this going so that we can make it into 2021 and beyond, quite frankly. That's what we have to do. So I thought, yep, I need to get my lab coat on. I got to get my science brain going. Look back at what happened over this past few months, what went right, what went wrong. Share this information with you folks. Get more experiments. Try different ideas to go forward. And we will survive this, and we will survive whatever is thrown our way as we journey on to a healthier lifestyle. We'll see you all next Friday.